Thank you, President. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Well, as the President has already said, the past year has really shown us what we can achieve when we're working together, but it has also highlighted the many challenges that we have been faced with. And one of these are the new and emerging threats that are at present or emerging on the horizon, variants that can really impact on our decisive fight against the COVID-19. Here I'd like to immediately underline that it is important to understand that our authorised vaccines continue to be the principal line of defence in the long term. And our authorised vaccines are at the moment effective against the variants that we are aware of and are present in the EU. But variants by nature mutate, and our defences need to evolve with them. So we need to act decisively, we need to act collectively. And this is what the HERA Incubator is. It's our targeted response, focusing on three main axes. The first one is what needs to be done for the rapid detection of new variants. The President has already highlighted the importance of the diagnostic side and of sequencing. All Member States need to have the capacity to have a sequencing of about 5% of positive results. And to give you an indication, the figure stands now at approximately 1%. And we are here to support this effort, making available laboratories in collaboration with ECDC through a quick exchange of information. We also need to, and we will be supporting the development of specialised PCR tests in order to detect samples and detect new variants. And we'll be making available about €75 million funding for this. The President has already mentioned the new EU-wide funding vaccine network, Vaccelerate. This will ensure that trial networks across the EU test vaccines in a streamlined regulatory approval process. We need to understand, and only research can really do this, with a network that goes across Member States, how the transmission of variants, how these develop, whether current vaccines can deal with the variants. So this will all be seen through this Europe-funded vaccine trial network, Vaccelerate. The second axis of our HERA Incubator concerns the advanced purchase agreements for the next generation of vaccines. What we need to do in order to, if we need to do update or conclude new agreements with vaccine producers. Our approach to help de-risk investments in the early development of vaccines in the production of vaccine candidates has shown its worth. And we now need to build upon this. Companies who have already developed COVID-19 vaccines are already monitoring the efficacy of their vaccine against the variants. Of course, a prerequisite on our side will be to see the capacity of companies not only to produce in the EU, but also for a credible and reliable timescale for delivery. And we will be there to support and mobilise all necessary funding for these updated or new agreements. And last but definitely not least is the regulatory process to enable the conditions for delivery and what we need to do. And we need to have fully future-adapted vaccines to be approved as quickly as possible through streamlined and predictable procedures that also allow citizens to feel safe and to build up trust in public health matters. No compromises will be made in terms of the safety. The European Commission, EMA, and the Member States continue to work making use of the flexibility that we can for the authorization of vaccines, but we also need to look at how we can use these regulatory procedures and what we need to change for the vaccines that will be addressing the new variants. EMA was already developing guidelines for developers on what their requirements will be needed, and also for the early involvement of the regulatory authorities for the certification of new production lines. So this is work that is already ongoing. We are ready to go one step further and to propose an emergency authorization of vaccines at EU level with shared liability among us, if there's a decision by the European leaders to move in this direction. So together with EMA, we will ensure that manufacturers and developers get production off the ground as quickly as possible when necessary. I will end here. I just wanted to end by saying that the HERA Incubator is really the precursor and the strong nucleus for the future European Health Emergency Preparedness and Response Authority. We knew that this was missing in the structures that we had in place, and we are now acting upon that today. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Stella.